ourselves a game. Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. That's right, it's been a while since you heard me say that, but I will say it again. Because this game of Dota 2 is going to be a pretty important match for these teams. It's going to be a best out of 3. This is game number 1. It is GosuLeague Season 5 Division 2. And this is the battle for the first place. And you know how it goes in GosuLeague, especially in Divisions 2 and 3. If you don't have number 1 place, you get nothing. Well, if you are actually lowest, then you will actually get dropped down. But if you have a number 2 place, you really don't get that much at all, apart from honor, of course. But you want to have the number 1 place, and why, you ask? Well, I can tell you. It's because with that number 1 place, you will be able to go to Division 1. And that is where people want to be at. Division 1 is the division that has Na'Vi, has Empire, more importantly, it has got the prestige, it has got the prize money, and it's just where you want to be. It's where you're fighting for. I will quickly show you this. This is the standings for GosuLeague Division 2B. There's also Division 2A, so the number 1s of both those Division 2s will be replacing people in Division 1, the lowest 2. We've got WhA and Out of Tangos. They both have 1 draw, which is against each other, and the rest of their matches they all won. So they beat MDMA, they beat Power Rangers 4-4 NRL, and Ubelst and QuapTop, they both have been not playing anymore because you can't lose all 6 games with two teams, because otherwise you can't lose against. I mean, they would have had at least 1 draw if they were playing against each other. So those 2 are no longer in the competition. So WhA and Out of Tangos fighting for that number 1 spot, and I will just show you the teams that will be joining them already in Division 1. Bam! There you go. If you want to check out this information for yourself, you can go to where can I say that? Here you see the address. play.gosugamers.net/events, but you can just go to play.gosugamers.net and then you can find it there as well. But /events/60 double points GosuLeague -season-5. So that's the one that we have right now. So let's just go quickly over what we can see here before we jump ourselves back into the draft. We have got, this is Division 1. Na'Vi took Division 1. You can see it here. They ended number 1. Empire number 2, NextKZ ended on the number 3 spots, combined with points with Mouse, but because Mouse and I think NextKZ actually won from Mouse earlier on in the season, NextKZ is on top, and we see the lowest 2. These are the 2 that are most important right now. Pulse and DD, those 2 will be dropped down to Division 2. That's right, you will not see them again in Division 1 until maybe the season after Season 6. Because they'll have to work their way up again. And we scroll all the way down and we see here Division 2 divisions. This is Division 2A. That one's already finished. It's already decided that 3D Max will be joining Division 1. And we of course have seen 3D Max a lot lately as well. So they are tied on points with 4FC, but because 3D Max beat 4FC, they are the ones that are on top, regardless of the same amount of points. Absolute Legends, they all leave them behind. 3D Max will be going to Division 1. We're going to jump to Division 2B, where we are at right now. We just saw the points already, but here you see entirely a tie. The draws against each other. That's the one that we want to see. And we see that QuapTop and Ubelst will be dropped out. Here, by the way, is DPP and Inspire that will be dropped out. In case you're wondering, what other teams are trying to work their way up? Because I have checked before this, and I have seen some teams that we know. I don't really know that DTS 2010, but the team that I'm most curious about, L Pride. They are the team that we have seen in a couple of competitions, Star Ladder to be exact, and they have done amazingly well. I'm quite curious to see them again. We're going to see Root in Division 2 next season as well, and we're going to see Quert in Division 2 as well. They made it up to to Division 3. Well, anyway, let's drop that. Let's see the draft, because, sorry, we are, of course, here for this game, and we're going to see how these two teams are trying to make their way on top, trying to make their way to Division 1. We will not see a Darkseer, nor a Bedrider, nor a Magnus and an Undying. We will, however, see the Nyx Assassin, and a Luna, and a Venomancer. At least two of those heroes that we have seen so many times lately. And not only in European Dota, but also, of course, Asian Dota, if you have been watching the G League slightly. I believe today it was said, I heard that Nyx Assassin has got a 100% involvement rate. He's been banned or picked every single time. And high success rate he had as well. I just forgot what it was, but that was quite interesting to see. But we see that translated here as well. We've got the Rubik, the Windrunner, and the Keeper of the Light for Out of Tangos. I'm quite surprised to see those three heroes already picked up together. I mean, they still have so many options. They haven't really given anything away about what they really want to be doing here. Because we already have, I mean, Keeper of the Light and Rubik could be supports. Windrunner could be off lane. At the same time, I realized that Rubik could be solo mid. Windrunner could be solo mid. Keeper of Light can be solo off lane. They have so many options. They are really not giving anything away. While we as Asian, they're already saying that they are probably going to be having a tri lane with the Venomancer, Nyx Assassin, and a Luna, and they just need two solo lanes. And that's also why we see Out of Tango is banning out those solo lanes, because both Templar Assassin and Beastmaster, of course, known for their solo mid. Brewmaster lately as well on solo mid, so that's also out of the question. And we see we as Asian, they're just banning heroes that they don't really want to face. But the roles of the heroes that they ban are various. I mean, they ban out the Queen of Pain, known as a solo lane. They ban out the Bounty Hunter, solo off lane. They ban out the Life Stealer, known for tri lane. So they have a bit of a trickier job to ban heroes out. We see them picking up the Night Stalker for we as Asian, so that's quite interesting to see. We're going to see probably him being at mid. And if you're wondering, like, this combination is actually really nice. I'm a fan of it. If you have an aggressive tri lane that has a Luna, you're basically saying we want to be pushing somewhat. That's why you pick up the Luna. She has got that blessing, so pushing power right there. And if you have around level 6, around that 6-minute mark, if Night Stalker is indeed mid, Night Stalker will try to roam around for a kill. Now, what better way to roam around for a kill is if you get that kill, maybe dive past the tower, but you know, Night Stalker can do that. And if you have a successful kill, instantly there will be 3 heroes on that same lane, perhaps, that will be able to push down the tower. So that's a very nice combination to have, and a very dangerous one as well for Out of Tangos. And we're seeing Out of Tangos finally giving some more body to their lineup. It's the Faceless Void that gets picked up, and that will mean that they just have to hold their ground. They're saying, well, I know you want to try to push us slightly, you want to gank us, but we are going to hold on, we're going to be strong, and we're going to let our Faceless Void farm until he is fat, and when he is, he will be able to kill everybody of we as Asian. We're going to see the last pickup for we as Asian. If I am correct, they still need an offlaner. There's still a couple of heroes in that can do that job. For example, a Puck. I mean, there's a lot of heroes that we've lately seen in offlanes, and actually what I would actually like to see is, well, it's a Tidehunter, but I know I've said zillions of times, I'm not really a fan of the offlane Tidehunter because he doesn't get to level 6 fast enough, but if you're combining that with the lineup for we as Asian, then not only you have ganking power, you have pushing power, and at some point you can go for 5-man Dota and saying, well, we're standing here, we're gonna take your towers, and if you don't like it, you can fight us. But you know, if you do, we'll have a Ravage ready for you. So personally, that would be one that I would like to see coming up from we as Asian, but we'll see what they're actually going to be going for. I mean, in theory, and we're talking theories anyway, they don't really need an offlaner because they could go for 2 dual lanes. They can be pretty variable with their lineup still as well. It's just slightly what I'm expecting to see. Well, anyway. We have 30 seconds left inside that bonus time. They have actually still got that bonus time, and if you look at Out of Tangos, they actually only got 9 seconds left. That's not that much. Not that much at all. I do like the logo of Out of Tangos, by the way. It's just different kind of tangos. It's fun. I didn't know they had a logo for... Oh, this is gonna be another offlane. So this will mean... I say offlane, I mean solo lane, because this will mean we might see an aggressive tri lane coming off from we as Asian, killing safe lane, Night Stalker mid lane, and aggressive tri lane with the Nyx Assassin, Luna, and the Venomancer. And that is also a very good combination. I mean, you might not have the teamfight potential that a Tidehunter would bring, but you will also still, I mean, if Klinks gets some farm, which in theory you should be able to get in that on that lane, because you can't let Faces Void farm by himself. You have to give him some support, especially if you're expecting an aggressive tri lane. So Klinks will be up against maybe a Windrunner or something like that. That means that he will be able to get farm, and if he gets farm, we have seen what happens then. Now, it might not be Funnick that's in WhA Asian, but I'm pretty damn sure that Klinks can still be very dangerous. Then we're gonna have a Tinker picked up, more counter push, more heroes to make sure that Out of Tangos can hold on long enough for their Faces Void to get really big. We're gonna see if they're gonna be successful in that, and we're gonna see it very soon, because we will switch overlays and we will jump ourselves into the game, because we're only waiting for Rubik to be picked up, and then we can see who's got what, who's playing what, who's going where, and how things are gonna be done. And of course, again, a slight reminder: this is just game number 1. There's gonna be, well, 2 or 3 games depending on how it's gonna go. It's the best out of 3 to decide which one of these 2 teams will be joining Division 1 in next season. This is Season 5, and we're going to, of course, be looking towards Season 6, which will start at the start of January. So make sure you keep an eye out for that one. And make sure you keep an eye out for the winner of this one. I'm a big fan of new teams joining the big leagues, so to say. So I'm always kind of curious to see how they do and what they do, and if they're doing good, etc. If they can hold their own in those leagues, it's you know, it's fun. Anyway, let's just go over the players real quick. We're gonna start with Out of Tangos. They are on the dire side for this first game. We see Frigo Elite playing the Rubik. We have got a disconnect, but we will just continue. Probably the item bug that we've all hate and know. You know, that item is stuck to your mouse and you can't do anything. Anyway, Frigo Elite will be playing the Rubik. We have Saiso playing the Tinker. Steph Style will be playing the Keeper of Light Flux Blocks on the Windrunner, and Cedar will be playing that Faceless Void. And that will make us jump over to the Radiant side, where WhA Asian is going to be preparing for battle. We see Pimpalicious already going towards the top lane when there's Luna. So we are probably going to see an aggressive trial, or at least I hope we are. We're going to see Koikfa playing the Night Stalker, is going for a fast bottle, has got already 350 gold, so he will be going towards that mid lane. Atsi, he is disconnected right now, but he'll be back shortly. He's going to be playing the Venomancer. We're going to see RMC is going to be playing the Nyx Assassin. And actually, for this game, or for these 3 games potentially, we probably can be calling WhA Asian, not WhA Asian, because for this game they don't have their Asian. Crowd Asia is actually not here right now, and they will be joined by stand-in Sexy Bamboo, so instead of WhA Asian, it's probably just gonna be We Has Sexy Bamboo. And he'll be playing the Klinks, so he'll probably be going towards the bottom lane by himself, but we'll all know that for sure once they actually go towards their respective lanes. And if we're looking at how Out of Tangos is going to do this, I mean, we know that Faces Void cannot be by himself. He's actually got pulled slightly also. He needs to be able to survive against that aggressive tri lane. And they probably realize that they will be up against that aggressive tri lane. So we're going to have Windrunner most likely on the off lane. Saiso in the mid lane on the Tinker also going for a fast bottle. We're going to have Keeper of the Light supporting together with the Rubik on the Faces Void on the top lane. That's my expectations anyway. And I mean, yes, it's a defensive lineup. I mean, for Out of Tangos, you can imagine like the harassment that comes out from WhA Asian. They have, of course, got the so-called aggressive tri lane. And you know what you have to be when you're on aggressive tri lane? Aggressive. That's right. So they can have an Impale, which is probably one of the longest stuns early game. Where is he? There he is. And they can follow it up with a Gale. Impale and Gale, oh my god, that's going to be terrible, but that's going to be the recipe, or at least the start of a potential kill, with the Lucent Beam following up, some right clicks that you can do while the target is moving away towards this tower, most likely. If it's done on the Faces Void, we're just going to go through some scenarios here that can happen. If it's done on the Faces Void, well, we're going to assume he picks up Time Walk. Obviously, he needs to have that escape mechanism, and I think he's gonna be fine. I think in theory he should not be dying, especially not since if he is indeed gonna be the target, if he can only time walk away, later on there will at least be a telekinesis, for example, upon a Luna, so that he can follow and he can get can stun on the other targets. Of course, there will be an Illuminate to fly through just to make sure that everybody gets forced back. At the same time, that Illuminate, the downside, it might be pushing the lane. It's not really what you want to have, but you know, if it's to defend your carry, then that's worth it. But the telekinesis is gonna be the most important one, and that's also instantly saying the thing that, I mean, that's gonna be dangerous for out of tangos. If they initiate on the Rubik, what can out of tangos do? Faceless Void can't really do anything. He can't put himself on the line. Illuminate is nice, but it's not a disable, so Rubik is gonna be a target that we as Asian probably will want to go for, and otherwise Keeper of Light. Keeper of Light is a hero that's normally finding those spots to land those Illuminates and to not be that close to his carry, but still be able to be in range for the Illuminate. So his positioning is very important here. If he's going to be slightly out of position, there will be nobody in time there to help him stay alive, and that's going to be something that he has to really watch out for. At the same time, it is a defensive trial lane, and I'm sure that they are realizing that, and they will realize it if indeed they're going to be going for those lanes. I mean, I'm just assuming it's still, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. We'll find out soon enough, as we are waiting for someone to reconnect back to Skype. And when he does, then we will be able to go, and we'll be able to see how that aggressive trial lane is going to go. And if we're not talking about aggressive trial lanes, we're talking about mid lanes as well, of course. I mean, we have got a Tinker taking on a Night Stalker. Now, Night Stalker is going to go for that fast bottle. Already got his Void. He will be able to have his bottle fairly fast because he can use his Void to get those last hits, to get that going, and he should be able to at least hold his own against a Tinker. Tinker, of course, is going to try to make sure that even with his bottle, he can't be in range, or well, he can't be getting last hits without that Void, because he has a laser, so he can make sure that Night Stalker will miss last hits, and that will be very annoying, of course, for Koikfa, who will be, you know, he wants a fast bottle so that he has a bit of insurance, so he can go in and he can try to get those last hits. That's basically a Night Stalker's thing, right? I mean, yeah, getting last hits with Void is nice and stuff, but it's super expensive, and you want to be able to also, you know, right-click something, and that will be difficult with that Tinker there. If he picks up lasers, of course, that's gonna be the question that we're gonna see answered. We see in a lot of Tinkers also to go for max out that margin of machines and just be super annoying, but we'll find out what it is soon enough. In theory, though, I think Tinker should have the advantage over the lane in the mid lane after Tinker also gets his bottle. And he is going to go for a fast bottle as well, so we'll see that soon enough. And then, of course, we have got the Windrunner taking on the Killings. Bamboo, a player that we know for playing the off lane in a lot of teams that he has been in. Now going to be on the safe lane. I think we're going to see him being very safe. He shouldn't die. He has an escape mechanism and he's near his tower. He might try to be a bit aggressive on flux blocks, though. The thing about a Windrunner is, and that was recently explained to me, we've seen her picked up a bit less lately in the offlane. We've still seen her picked up, don't get me wrong, and she has been there and she has been solid as well, but we've seen her picked up a bit less on the offlane. The reason for that is, according to the person that told me this, is because she's fairly easy to counter, and the way you counter is just throw a couple of right clicks on her. Now, and that's all fine, and she will be able to stay alive, and you know, it will be just tricky for her. But then you're up against a Klinks. A Klinks that right clicks. Well, he doesn't just right clicks. He's searing arrows at you. Now that's painful, and that's gonna be really tough for her to deal with. So I hope she got some extra regen, perhaps soon, because she's gonna need it. She's gonna need it. Klinks is one of those heroes that, of course, with an orb effect, can be just right clicking your opponents down without having the creeps actually attacking him for doing so. Anyway, we are still having a pause, and I'm running out of stuff to talk about. We can talk about couriers, though. Oh no, they're not that exciting. I'm sorry. Well, I have to say, if I have to guess where the first blood is gonna be at, it's either gonna be the top lane, and then it's gonna be for we as Asian or out of tangos, obviously, but I think it would be WhA if they go on the Rubik or on the Keeper of the Light. It's not gonna. It should not be the Faceless Void. Let's just put it that way. And if they try to go on the wrong target, and if they try to overextend, other tangles will of course profit from that, and they will get the first blood. I do believe that we're gonna see some action on the top lane regardless. But I'm also quite well. I mean, we've seen Sexy Bamboo on the off lane before, and on the safe lane, I think he can pull a bit more of his shenanigans than he normally does. So maybe we're gonna see him play a bit more aggressive, and gonna be trying to kill off Fluxplux, if he can do so. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I think it's possible. It will all depend on the lanes. It will all depend on the lanes and how it's going and how comfortable Out of Tangos is with those lanes. And I mean, as soon as Tinker got his boots of travel on, we'll see. I know there's people drawing stuff on the minimap. It's distracting. Anyway, as soon as Tinker got his boots of travel on, it will be very hard for WhA to still continue to push. I mean, I said earlier what they wanted to do. They want to try and gank with the Night Stalker on a lane where Luna is at and the Venom is and the Nyx Assassin, and if they have a successful gank, they can push the tower. But if the Tinker would have his boots of travel fairly fast, then those kind of towers that they're going to get doing that within the first 10 minutes of the game are the only towers that they should be getting in theory. And it will be hard for them to still get towers in return. And having said that, I do realize also that Out of Tangos is in no position probably to take down any towers fairly easily. Maybe with the Tinker split push they can get some, but they don't really have that pushing power for themselves, or at least not pushing, you know, with extra strength towards those towers. And I do think WhA, they have a lineup that shouts, "We want to fight, we want to push you, we want to take your towers, and we want to just be aggressive." And Out of Tangos, I'm not sure if they would want to answer aggression with aggression in this case, because they would want to have their Faceless Void just farming, and that means also, I mean, Klinks will be farming as well for a while, obviously. But it will mean that Out of Tangos is going to be with 4 heroes versus 4 heroes. And if you then see the 4 heroes that they have, I mean, all heroes are, you know, normally when you have a pushing lineup versus anti-push lineup, and you're talking about drafts and stuff, blah blah blah, then you mention counter-push heroes, turtle heroes, if you will. You mention the Windrunner, you mention the Keeper of Light, you mention the Tinker, you mention the Rubik. And the Beastmaster. Beastmaster got banned out actually, so he's not there. But all 4 of these heroes, I mean, even if WhA managed to get down all towers on the map, apart from the tier 3s, etc., they're gonna have such a tough time pushing into the base if they don't have a massive advantage first. If they don't try and kill Out of Tangos outside of their base first, it's gonna be really difficult. I'm curious to see. I'm kind of hoping that we are not gonna be seeing that all too much, because if it does resolve to that kind of game where Faceless Void is trying to farm, where WhA has the advantage but not enough advantage to try and push up the high ground, we're gonna see a long game, because Out of Tangos, they can hold on. They can let their Faceless Void farm. Faceless Void, of course, one of those carries that at level 6, I mean, you don't want to do it, but you can use his Chronosphere to escape, to get away. And yes, we're still in a pause. We're still waiting for Faceless Void to come back. He says it's reconnecting now, but I don't think that was the case when he said it, because he said it a while ago. Oh wells. Oh, I'm worried for myself though. I'm worried that I won't be able to say anything anymore for the rest of the game, because I've already talked like 15 minutes already, but it feels like that about stuff that I normally say during the game. It's confusing. And yes, this is where co-casters come in handy, because you can just talk to them rather than me talking to my PC. Anyway, no co-caster for me today, so you've got to deal with that, as we have got to reconnect. Happy times, happy times. Oh, and for the people wondering, there is indeed a 2-minute delay on my stream, so just so you are aware of that. If there's something wrong with my stream, if I, for example, in the next game forget an overlay, or if I do something crazy stupid, or if it's off, I don't know, I will, you know, see it 2 minutes. Oh, not again! We'll see it 2 minutes from then. So yeah, 2 minute delay. That's where it's at. I don't believe this game is visible inside Dota 2. You can try and look for it, because I'm not 100% sure. If you do try and look for it, you can do it in multiple things, by the way. I just want to tell you a trick. Like sometimes, if there's a game going on and it's not, oh. Anyway, if it's not inside a ticket, then you can check by just either going to a chat channel where you know that one of the people that's inside the game is at. Like for example, my chat channel right now, my chat channel is called Sheever. If you go there, you see me standing in it. You can right click on my name and maybe you can click watch game. And then you know if it's visible or not, or if you can actually watch it. You can also go to teams and then look up the teams that are playing, and then go try to right click on their names and the team players and see if you can get inside the game using that one. Can we remake with stand-in? So that means that all this talk that I just did would not be in the VOD. That would be quite disappointing. Oh dear. And I said so many useless stuff. And useful stuff also. Anyway, let's jump % out of the game. We're gonna have a quick remake because they need to be having well, a remake for a stand-in. So see you in 2. So here I am again, and I realized that I can, if fast enough, just leave everything in the VOD so that if people want to listen to that, they can, and I don't have the feeling. Cause you know what's tricky is if you cast and you have a remake. Like I just said a whole ton of stuff. I basically went over every single lane and said what I'm expecting that will happen, blah blah blah. And then if there's a remake, I would have to say stuff like that again, and I wouldn't know anymore what I did and didn't say, and I might end up just repeating zillions of stuff, and it will be annoying, and it won't sound logical anymore because I'll just be picking up stuff from my memory of what I said, etc. But you know, we'll be seeing it soon. And we'll also apparently be having see, they're still in the game, and the stand-in will be leaving again. Wow. That is that was that then. Interesting. So that is the stand-in actually no longer the stand-in. The stand-in for realization is still the same, and we have the goals again, so we should be on the move again. And for people in the VOD, if you're listening to this, then thank you, because I'm sure that there's gonna be people posting in comments saying game starts at what would it be, 25 minutes or something after the draft and after this mega long pause. So yeah, oh well. Oh well, let's see though. Let's get ourselves a game of Dota finally. We're gonna of course have an all pick mode because that's what we do. In all pick modes, we pick heroes that we already know that's gonna be there. We are having everybody connecting to the game. I just saw Cedar connecting as well, and we're gonna see if they don't disconnect this time. Apparently it was a headset issue, but you know, happens. Happens. So we're just seeing. I mean, this doesn't really work. Like, you see on top of here that the heroes have already picked up, but there's only 3 that are listed here that actually are listed here, even though everything has already been picked up. We still have to wait the 30 seconds though before we can actually go. But yeah, that was one of the longest starts to a game I've ever had. Nah, that's not true actually. I've had worse. I've had way worse. And in the meantime, I have cleaned my keyboard slightly. How about that? How about that? I was actually useful. I hope some of you can say the same. Because being useful is good. Being good is fun. Or is it? Or is it? I actually, yeah, there we go, finally. We can actually have ourselves a show, a game of Dota 2. I know that some of you might have already, you know, kind of looked away, etc. So I will do it again. I will say again who is playing what. We have Saiso on the Tinker, Frigo lead on the Rubik, Steph Style playing the Keeper of the Light. We're gonna have Cedar on the Faces Void. And we're gonna have Fluxbox on the Windrunner. And this is what is interesting, because we might have a Faces Void solo mid. This is gonna be fun. So all the... Oh, maybe I should have done a redo, because I've been wrong. But we are gonna have a Faces Void mid. That means that this lane, aggressive trial lane, if that's actually gonna be it, which I'm still expecting it would be, if we as Asia finds the right target. Maybe now that they've... Maybe now that they see that the lineup from Out of Tangos, that they have the Tinker here, they're gonna be trying it differently. It goes up again. What goes up again? But we're gonna see a bit of a different game than I expected to be. So if we then talk about the trial lane against trial lane, if there's actually gonna be a trial lane for WhA Asian here, and they go inside, as in they go inside the range of the Tinker and they want to try and pick someone up, there's not only an Illuminate, there's not only a Telekinesis, there's also March of the Machines, and that's going to be the more painful thing for them to deal with, because they can't really fight inside that March of the Machines, as we have got a Go again. Happy times. And there we go. Countdown happens. And let's see what they can find here. WhA Asian Atsi is going to be playing the Venomancer. Oh, hello, Frigo lead. Are you going to be on the wrong place? Impale still hit. Sexy Bamboo getting some vision through the trees. Landing a right click. We have RMC playing the Nyx Assassin, Koi Farms, Night Stalker, and Sexy Bamboo playing the Clinks, with Pimpalicious on the Luna. So let's see how they are distributing their lanes, and if they're actually going to be having an aggressive trial in here. It looks like they are, or at least RMC is sticking around here together with Pimpalicious. We still have Atsi rotating around, but that's because he has the wards, and he's just going to place them and then move towards the top lane again. But they still don't know that it is actually the Tinker here rather than the Faces Void. I really like these lanes from Out of Tangos, by the way. This is pretty nice mind games being thrown out by them. As once again, for the people that indeed missed the start, this is a best out of 3, game number 1, to decide if WhA Asian or Out of Tangos, one of these two teams, is going to be joining Division 1 in the next season of GosuLeague. So it's going to be in the same division of Navi, of Empire, of Mouse Sports, of Next KZ. Oh, hello, Etsy with a haste run. And we're going to see which one of these two it's going to be. It's a pretty important match for both of these, as we have already a counter ward up, but it doesn't scout out that one. That was actually the aim. So let's see how they're going to be dealing with this aggressive trial lane. If we're talking about how this is going to go, like, should be fairly even. I don't think Cedar will try to kill off Koikfi. I don't think Koikfi will be able to kill off Cedar if he tried. Bottom lane is still going to be interesting with that. Nice, Gale hits, wait a second, Frigo lead, Impale as well. Here comes the March of Machines instantly, though. They have to move away, because Pimpalicious is actually in a lot of trouble, but Atsi, more trouble for him. Illuminate will go through, and that will actually get the first blood. And oh my god, Out of Tangos, they fight fire with fire. They land the Illuminates constantly, or at least they just had 2 already on the creep wave, indicating they're not gonna play nice. They are not gonna play nice. They're saying, you're indicating to push us? Well, we got a story for you. We're gonna push ourselves, and we're gonna push hard, because we've got a Tinker, we've got an Illuminate, we're ready for you. And they show that they are, even though Frigolite is still in quite a bit of trouble here, especially if RMC is gonna find him out, but that tree is doing enough to stop the vision there. There's an extra level there for Nyx Assassin. We have Pimpalicious already level 2 as well. He's able to get some more experience using these creeps. I mean, an aggressive trial lane works if you are aggressive, if you get the kills, if you at least make sure that, well, you have 3 options, basically. You can either make sure that your opponent's not getting anything, well, fail there, because they're actually having a good time. You can make sure that you are getting kills, so that your supports as well as your carry are getting more still than Out of Tangos is. Or you can just make sure that the supports of Out of Tangos would be constantly shut down, and maybe still the carry would still be farming, but the supports would at least be shut down. And also that's not the case, because they are actually doing just fine, especially with those skills. The one thing that you absolutely cannot do is give kills to your opponents. Of course, that's normally the case, but in aggressive trial that's extra important, because you're here to be aggressive. You're here because you're expecting to win the lane. You're having your Clinks on the safe lane, so that's going to be just fine. They kind of do the Empire thing is what they do is they buy time for Funnick to farm in this Clinks. So maybe that's going to be okay for we as Asians still, because of course, in theory, if Clinks gets big enough, it doesn't matter how good or bad we as Asian is doing on his top lane, he'll still be able to dominate. But well, it really depends how well this lane is gonna go. Still slightly, at least. If it's gonna go, if they don't win it, okay, that's fine. But if they lose it really badly, that's not really ideal to see. So we have mid lane for a second, just to see how it's going. 14 last hits for 3 on Koifa, with Cedar being on 15 for 3, so very even still on these two mid laners right here. Faces Void, he's actually already out of regen, so has to be careful. And actually an invisibility turn up on a Night Stalker now might try to go for this, as he has got a Void, he's got mana as well, he's got 2 charges still as well. And is he gonna dive this? He might be able to. No bashes here for the Faces Void, so he will not dive this, he will not go for that. Didn't even use any of his mana for that. That's mana, and now Cedar has to be going back, because one more Void and he will drop. So he needs either a lucky regen rune or haste rune to get back to base. That might work as well. Or he needs cells, and he's gonna buy regens instead, just to make sure he can stay on the lane. As we have actually Shackle here up on Bamboo, power shot to follow up, and that is a kill. Fluxplugs killing off the Kalinks on the safe lane, and that is a big blow on the face of we as Asian, because as I just said, losing the top lane can happen. No. Or at least not winning the top lane can happen, but that would only be justified if they actually won that bottom lane. And well, with one death going the way of Out of Tangos there, that's not going to be the good start of we as Asian that they were hoping for. And we see we as Asian being a lot more passive here in this tri lane. So I'm not going to say aggressive tri lane anymore, because they're not that aggressive right now. They're making sure that Pimpalicious can get some farm. Maybe they're still going to be able to find someone, as Frigol is just going to run himself away from that one. Kalinks needs a pause, gonna get it as well. I'm gonna punch someone. Well, that is all nice and fine. Now we know what you do in your free time, Bamboo. But maybe I would expect him to, you know, be mad at someone for using the internet, maybe, perhaps, in his house. I mean, that seems like that's the best reason that you can have to punch someone, right? Because they are fucking up your internet. I know I shouldn't say that, but still, it's a justified reason. In the meantime, we can take a quick look at the gold graph. It's of course in favor of Out of Tangos. They have been doing just a very fine experience graph, same thing. 4 last hits are on this bottom lane. Bamboo is actually on 18 for 4, with Fluxplugs being on 18 for 4 as well. What? Yeah, there. I was for a second wondering if I hadn't had the wrong click, but they are exactly even also. So we have an even bottom lane, apart from of course that one kill that went to Fluxplugs. We have an even middle lane, even though it seemed to be slightly in favor of the Night Stalker, as he was able to harass Cedar out of the lane. And right now, we do see Koikfa being slightly ahead on those last hits. It's really not that much though. And on the top lane, well, if we look at farm-wise, I mean, Saiso has got 15 for 3. It's not bad by any stretch, and we have Pimpalicious on 17 for 5, so it's still quite even. But of course, the fact here is that the kill already went to Out of Tangos, and you go for, as I said, you go for an aggressive tri lane, you go for a tri lane on the long lane to make sure that you're gonna be able to win that lane, or at least make sure that your opponent's not getting any farm. And so far that's not really working out. Illuminate will hit, Sentry being placed down. They're gonna go for the Venomancer perhaps. Gale going through Frigolite. They want to try to maybe get down a Sentry Ward. There's 2 Sentry Wards there. Nah, there's gonna be a Sentry Ward down first, as in they could try to do it both. Oh, they get that one as well. That's nice. Good Sentry Ward. And it will actually disappear. That one was only just placed. As in, the sentry ward from the Radiant was just placed. The other one just vanished, of course, as you could see. So that will mean that out of tangos we'll be able to get some more last hits from the creeps as well. And that will mean that the advantage that WhA has is gonna drop away very rapidly. That you have from an aggressive tri lane. I mean, your supports are not gonna get any extra last hits. They're gonna have to share experience with you on the lane. As the rune is bottom, it's double damage. Nice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But if your opponent's supports are going to be able to pull and stack and pull and get experience for themselves, then that's going to be a big loss for WhA. So we're going to have to see them trying a bit harder, being a bit more aggressive. But then again, can you really be aggressive if you're being forced to farm inside the March of the Machine, fight inside the March of the Machines, and then also illuminates flying through? I mean, look at that. They're not worried about hitting lanes, hitting creeps. They're not worried about pushing the lane. No, they are just harassing constantly. They're making sure that WhA is having a tough time, and that's their priority right now, or at least it seems like that is their priority right now, and it's succeeding. They can't really do that much. Not that much at all, as we actually have GosuLeague thinking about going for a gank. It is of course nighttime. He was gonna try to go for it, but we also see Fluxblock just being very safe, very close to his tower. He's gonna be fine, and the double damage rune is gonna have to sit in the bottom of the Night Stalker for a little while longer. Maybe he's gonna try to go for the Faceless Void. At the same time, he has got a Chronosphere. So this is the time where we're gonna see these two maybe trying to get a kill, but in the meantime, it's top lane again. Losing Beam, Impale, all on Frigo lead. Can they take him down? Yes, they can, but RMC also a lot of trouble for him. Here comes GosuLeague, wanting to go for do some more, wanting to go for Stepstyle, turns around for Saiso instead, and he goes down. Now Stepstyle's gonna be the target. Tower bashing on the GosuLeague, but he doesn't care. He got kills, and he might be able to survive with this as well, with the bottle charges. No, not gonna be enough. Not enough, so he still drops, but he was successful, and they actually killed off every single target that they had in the top lane. Good gank going off from WhA, and a nice appearance there by Night Stalker with his double damage, making a difference, even though he still died. It wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for nothing at all, as we have RMC. He's very low. He's got some boots though. They're gonna see for the 8-minute rune, and they're actually gonna get it as well. Who will take it?
Invisibility.
Yes, it will. See if he can do something on his mid lane, trying to help out, of course, his teammate GosuLeague, who needs to get some more kills in his nighttime. At the same time, as I said, Chronosphere is up, and Faceless Void is one of those heroes that, you know, if he's on the lane and someone is going to be there and he can be getting that kill with that Chronosphere, he won't hesitate. He'll do it. And he can. GosuLeague showing himself again. There's no vision on the runes for out of tangos, nor is there actually for WhA, but they realize it is 8-minute rune, and they realize that the runes are now gone, so that he has to be careful. Oh, Gale, Void, they're gonna go for him, silence instantly, no Chronosphere view, TP out. Best thing you can do, backtrack, helping out a ton, and he is gonna be fine. He's gonna be safe. The Void, the only thing that could interrupt the TP, but the Void was already done. In the meantime, though, Sexy Bamboo taking it back, able to take down Flux on the bottom lane as he continues his farm. I'm actually gonna switch to Net Worth because that's a bit more interesting right now. As we see that he is actually second highest. Highest is the Luna, who just got a kill on the Keeper of Light. Used Eclipse to do that, and was actually by herself, so a pretty nice skill for her to have. She's not died yet. She's just had her Lucent Beam level 4 stolen. That's a pretty painful one, especially if you're a squishy Luna, but she's doing okay. She's actually highest on top of Net Worth. So far, WhA, even though not the best start that they could have had, they're definitely not doing bad at all. As we have Cedar just continuously getting harassed. He's having a tough time right now, so maybe it's time for a lane swap, but you really want to put Faceless Void up against the Luna. That might not be the best stuff idea ever. But you might want to have a support. Keeper of Light coming in to help out, lands an Illuminate, but that's only going to push the lane out, leaving GosuLeague with a bit more farm, and even he's going to try to go for a gank on Cedar here, or is he not? Time walk away. The rune was gone.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So we have Atsi level 4 on this support. We have got, of course, Stepstyle is also level 4. Let's just take a look at some of the more supports. We have Rubik actually level 6 already.
Radiant's bottom tower
and it is RMC that's level 4. So the biggest difference is that from the supports is that Rubik. Level 6 up on him, level 4 on the rest. And that's a pretty big difference, to be fair. Especially if you're a Rubik that all of a sudden has a level 4 loosened beam. That's painful. It's painful indeed. As we see Bamboo looking for some more harassment up on Fluxblux, who's level 8, going for a mechanism by the looks fit. Bamboo, of course, going for his Orchid. So we'll probably see that fairly soon, as he already has got his first Oblivion staff ready. And we're gonna see probably something like an Urn soon up on a nice Stalker, where he went for threads first. We're gonna see Cedar, he's already got threads, as we've got Luna again, by himself. Tinker, not able to do anything there. And I mean, well, by himself, I say. Tinker was by himself. I mean, there was a Rubik here, but he wasn't there in time. And Tinker just getting caught out. And Impale, Gale is all it took, gonna lose some beam over the top. And he already has his boots of travel, though. That's important to note, because, I mean, I said it at the start of the game during that mega long pause. Before the other game that it was,
Radiant's middle tower is under
but
attack.
it's going to be very difficult now for we as Asia to still push down towers. They have got this pushing line up that if a gank goes successfully, that they will be able to push a tower. They still have that, of course, but it's going to be more tough because there's going to be March of the Machines doing that. A sexy member who wants to try to go for size, so here they go. March of the Machines still goes down, but look at that burst damage. Nice shackle still, though, but it is Klink still that picks up. Klink goes down as well, though. Tinker's March of the Machines proven still to be too painful as Quakefab backs out again. But still Tinker dies for the second time in a short period of time. That must hurt. That must hurt. As the Quakefab comes in, goes for Frigo lead. They're losing beam hits as well. Pimpalicious coming in. Here comes a Kronos, perhaps. There is no mana actually. He's got 5 Tango charges, 5 stick charges if he wants to. Is he gonna do it? He needs to. No, he's silent. He is gonna drop Luna. Double kill. And now here comes Tinker again. Might try to go for the nice Darker. March of the Machines helping out laser as well. Power shot misses. Quake on the way out. He's gonna be able to do so. It is still nighttime, so he's still super fast. And he will be able to get out of that one. And that was, I mean,
Radiant's middle tower
I'm not even sure if those stick
attack.
charges would have gotten in the mana. But he just postponed it for too long. And then the silence came and he couldn't do anything anymore. In the meantime, on the top lane, Bamboo seeing a tasty bite. He's gonna get hit by Illuminate, but he doesn't care.
Dire's bottom tower is
1 hit,
under attack.
2 hit,
Radiant's
3 hit.
middle tower is under attack.
They don't even know if the Gale still hit before he died, but that was 3 shot from the Kalinks. And Keeper of the Night drops like a fly, so this is why we fear the Kalinks if he gets some farm up. This is why he's being banned out against a lot of players that love to play him. Faces Void coming in. Oh! Gets Atsy inside that Chronosphere. Atsy drops, but Bamboo goes down free.
Top tower is under attack.
And Bamboo, is he gonna hang around here? Eat a creep? That's fine. Might be able to hang around and try to get a kill up on the Tinker, perhaps. And Cedar is out of mana. Pimpalicious just continuing farming on the bottom lane, so just gonna leave the top lane alone for now. It's gonna be supported by the Venomancer, and of course there's still people on the bottom lane from Out of Tangos as well. It's Frigo Elite that's here, as well as Windrunner. But they can't really overextend too much. I mean, if they're gonna be outside their base, they have died before. Their main job is postpone kills, postpone tower deaths. Make sure nobody pushes their towers. Make sure they hold on long enough for that Faces Void to get big, and that is their mission, and they know it. And they're gonna stand back, and they're gonna push out when the lane comes in, but they're not gonna be putting themselves at risk unnecessarily. Void hits Sentry Ward instantly, just in case. That's a good Sentry Ward right there. Hello, Nyx Assassin. Welcome to level 6. Yeah, and they now realize exclamation marks actually came out from arms too. They realized, well, they wouldn't have done that if they didn't know that I was there. In the meantime, it's gonna be Frigo Elite, who is gonna be reversing a Gale to Asi, who's gonna be hit by a laser as well. Rockets will fly, and the power shot from the side. Fluxblux picking up the kill. TP out from Tinker, losing beam interrupted. Impale doesn't hit. He needs to run away from this. Getting hit though. Pimpalicious going for the Eclipse. He gets 1 kill. Is he gonna get 2? He could get 2. The telekinesis still there. Frigo Elite. Oh, he drops him to the low ground. He cannot get it anymore, and now Fluxblux in trouble. Quakefab picking up the kill. Illuminate will still fly through. But Stefstyle actually got hit by that with the spiked carapace from RMC going through, and Night Stalker gets himself a double kill. The main important thing is, though, Faces Void happily farming. Well, he was anyway until he got forced back. He seems to be going for Midas. Or maybe not. Oh, Maelstrom. Maelstrom it is. I like it. I like it a lot. Though the thing for Maelstrom is you still need to hit fairly fast. He has, of course, got his treads, so might be able to do that. We're gonna see how it works out. I'm not entirely convinced if that's the right path, but hey, who am I to judge that? I'm not a player. He is. In the meantime, Tinker's had a tough time. He's actually died 4 times right now already. He still has nothing more than the soul ring and the boots that we saw him having earlier already. Koikva, daytime, he can't do anything anymore either. He picked up his Ogre Club, so might be going for BKB. Maybe even making the start of his Aghanims. In the meantime, Pimpalicious, he is going for his BKB. Already got the Ogre Club for that one. As we're gonna see Flux trying to get away from that bamboo, and the blinding light from Stefstyle actually helped out greatly there. Deny on the tier 1. That's the first tower that drops.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
And the first tower that drops is denied. That's painful for Out of Tangos. You see Bamboo, he's got his Orchid, so looking for some more kills probably soon. Vendetta up on Nyx Assassin, finds Seether, there comes it. Time walk away though. Impale missed. Should be able to get himself out of that one, and if he's not sure, then he has got the Chronosphere. Not anymore actually, he's lost his mana. But he is still gonna be safe. He is just fine. As Sexy Bamboo decides to go on the tower. TP in from the Tinker though. Wants to stop it. Illuminate. Doesn't hit him anymore. Lasers do. Trying to get him, but he is at least backed off. The tower stands for now. But we see Out of Tangos, and we know exactly what they're doing. They're buying time. Buying time for this guy to farm. And WhA, their answer to that, I mean, they don't have a specific answer to that. I was expecting them to maybe be a bit more 4/5 man Dota, especially with that Aghanims up there, but maybe they just want to wait until the BKB is done. Having said that, the BKB actually is done up on Luna. And even so, if they go for a 5-man push, that will be tough. I mean, they have to fight against Illuminate, against the March of the Machines. It is so difficult to push against those things, and even if you do risk that, then you're gonna be risking standing in all of those things inside a Chronosphere. And that is definitely tough for sure. So the only thing that we're probably gonna see fights on for a while is maybe Roshan soon. It is, of course, 18 minutes into the game. We have got Windrunner actually finishing up her mechanism, so that will be a nice item to have. Oaklings. Oh, Bamboo. Level 11 versus level 13. There's a silence. Right-click. Mechanism instantly used. Can he get away from this? Might be able to. Windrun is still there if he wants to use it. There's the Windrun finally. And that's gonna be a laser coming in. Laser guy, that's Tinker. Venomance ulti being used. Doesn't hit anything, though. And he should be able to get away from this. He doesn't have any mana anymore, but he will make do, and he'll be able to get away alive, just like the Windrunner, which is of course the most important thing. He saved that girl's life.
Tower is under attack.
Illuminate will try to stop the pushing from happening, of course, because you don't want to really want to be pushed. Bamboo might try and go for Stefstyle the moment he realizes he's there. Illuminate. Oh, actually, that's tough, and that is good because he dodged that power shot, so he's not gonna die. Flux looking for a bit of revenge. In the meantime, of course, that tier 1 tower is still dropping. That's the reason why they're standing at the tier 2. And that's the second tower going down to the game, and that tower did not get a deny. And in the meantime, Night Stalker, he already got the gold for the tower on the top lane. He might be trying to go for the tower on the mid lane as well. As we have got Nyx Assassin buying up some mana boots. Illuminate will fly through. Yeah, we'll just try to push these back here. This Quankfire is gonna get hit by that, but you know, he's gonna be fine. Gold graph in the meantime. So in favor of WhA, with the towers of course, as well as with the kills. It's almost 7.5k gold in their favor. Experience graph over 10k. I mean, that is the type of gameplay that we see from Out of Tangos. That makes sense. Out of Tangos, they're grouping up, they're just defending. while the rest of WhA, they're out there. They're farming, or they're making sure that they're gonna be able to sentries? Oh, a bit too late. They're farming, or they're gonna be able to make sure that they're gonna be pushing or baiting something out, trying to bait something out. Oh, here they come. They now see him. They now realize he's there, and they need to find him. But that was actually Frigoli walking directly to Bamboo. He realized that was a word, so he's gonna be backing off. Illuminate will go through. Tower will get the knight. Nice one. The knight for the knight. So good progression there from out of tangos. So now still one tower behind, but at least they denied. They got it back. They've done it back to their opponents as well, as we have got, I mean, gold experience. I just said that already, I guess. Yeah, we've got something, I guess, for Bamboo, and realizing he should be having a bit more inventory, but he doesn't. Interesting. It's also because he's been trying to roam around a lot. I mean, he's been trying to get those kills. He's been trying to get those ganks in, but he's just not successful. And for a Links, that's a tough cookie to take, because he needs to be successful in that. If he's not, it's wasting time. He's better off farming right now, so he is going to do that. And he's actually going to take care of the tier 1 tower bottom, as we're going to see what WhA is planning to do with the smoking, because they are smoked up. And there comes the Void. They're going to go for a Keeper of the Light. There comes Etsy as well. It's got an ulti as well if he wants to. Lands it out. That is a Chronosphere. It hits on 2 only. Not the one that he wanted, but there's still going to be 1 kill. Is there going to be more? Eclipse from the side. Here comes Pimpalicious. Takes down the Face's Void. As Nyx Assassin still drops, there goes Steph Style as well. Double kill going the way. Triple kill. Pimpalicious. BKB TP out. Gets interrupted, or at least by himself. Wants to go for Fluxbox. He does not get an ultra kill. But there are 4 heroes down on the side of Out of Tangos, and it only cost them 2 supports. Only the Nyx Assassin and the Venomancer did go down with that one, as Tinker comes in. You might take my heroes, but you shall never take my towers! Okay, sorry, I just got carried away slightly there, but he will be able to try and defend this. I mean, he's got the marching machine. Even if they will be able to take these towers, they won't get to the base. But that's Tinker for you. They don't even get the tower. So great fight coming up from WhA, and that smoke gank definitely paid off, even though I'm not sure it was all the smoke. But they're not getting anything in return for it. Not getting anything in return for it, like a tower or something. That's the kind of stuff that they need to have. They've got Luna building towards a Mantis Cell. Oh, hello, Bamboo. Looking for a kill. Silence 1, 2. Oh, dodge. Dust. And here comes support. Telekinesis. Frigoli will still drop. RMC coming in to help out. His teammate will be enough though. Nice shackle. Power shot. A hit. And that's a kill. Illuminate will go through as well. And that is 2 down on the side of WhA. And all that Out of Tangos lost this time was a Rubik that was there as a support. So not a bad catch at all for Out of Tangos. Looks like they will be having their tier 2 tower damaged slightly though. Quickfight just down here by himself, not too worried. Blinding Light will go through, making him miss slightly, but the tower still taking a lot of damage. Illuminate will go through, but it will be too late. Tower will still drop, and Quickfight gets the last hit. Rockets and lasers fly. Can they go for a time walk away? Do they have a Chronosphere? They do, and they go for it. Gale still hits, so he's slow, but he doesn't need to move if he's just standing next to the target, and that is Night Stalker gone. Asti trying to TP out. Should be able to do so. No bashes, not even a hit coming off from Cedar there, but that's also because he was still Gale, so still very slow to get to his target, so couldn't do that anymore. As RMC just comes in to show his displeasure with that kill, but you know, what can he do? Mana burn, and then what? Mantis style upon the Luna complete now, so that's gonna be having a pretty nice impact on fights, especially if you're gonna be pushing. That's gonna be a good one to have. Let's see if we can find some new items as well and other people. We see the Windrunner. Fluxbox, of course, building towards a 4-staff. No real surprise there, as we have got the Maelstrom completed on the Face's Void. He picked up an Overclock as well. And that might be just for the BKB. As if you're wondering, well, you're going to have a Chronosphere anyway, why would you want to have a BKB since you can move in your own Chronosphere? Hello, Bamboo, where are you going there? Oh, Steph style. And the sentry ward. And they realize he's there. And there he knows. He knows it. Where's the dust? Here comes a blinding light. And where's the dust? Needs the dust. Needs the dust. Telekinesis first. There comes Stefsal, by the way, taking a lot of damage, but he's got a Ghost after. Illuminate will fight. Will finish off Bamboo still. Here comes Goifa as well, landing a point upon Cedar. He does not have a Chronosphere. He's actually silenced up. He cannot do anything. He cannot time walk away. He needs to get away. He can't get away. Pimpalicious double kill. And that's going to be the next assassin still dropping. Tinker March and Machine still going through, of course, as Pimpalicious is looking for a triple kill. Fluxbox going to be the target. But he's going to be able to get away as Tinker cannot say the same. He actually went down. Koifa taking the last hit for that one. And that's them getting revenge for their kill on Klinks. I mean, Bam still dropped, but they got 3 kills in return. And most important thing, they got the Faces Void. And that is important to have.
Radiant's top tower is under
So if you're
attack.
wondering why he doesn't need a BKB, even if he has a Chronosphere, it wasn't even for that very reason if you don't have a Chronosphere, but even if you have a Chronosphere, Nyx Assassin is one of those heroes that tries to stand back and just throws Impales and Mana Leaks and Vendetta when he can, etc. So he's normally not inside the Chronosphere regularly. So what he can do is he can land an Impale after a Chronosphere and then try to make sure that Faces Void cannot do anything inside his own Chronosphere. And to prevent that, he's gonna need a BKB. I mean, having a almost 3 second stun is just quite insane to have inside your own Chronosphere. That, you know, it's just it's needed. 4.5 seconds if you then have 3. Yeah, it's just insane. You really want to be able to continue to hit inside your own Chronosphere. Oh, as he's gonna be finding out blinding light inside the trees. Right clicks to go. Rockets will fly as well. They got vision from the high ground. Can they get it? Power shot going through. Mana Leak up on there as well. He's trying to TP himself out. Will there be enough damage taken down beforehand? No, they don't. And that distraction was enough to make sure that Roshan was taken down by WhA and Luna. Pimpalicious picks it up. He's got 2,800 gold, and they are looking for blood again. Going towards that middle lane with 4 heroes here of WhA as the smoke was actually on. They did walk through a ward. Nah, that wasn't caught out. That wasn't caught out. They are safe. What am I saying? Smoke for is just a Vendetta and next assassin. They're gonna go for the towers. The last tower is still standing.
Tower is under attack.
And oh, nice Impale. It's on 2. Illuminate going through. Next assassin is just standing still. They don't want to go in anyway. They don't want to take this fight. And I mean, this is when it already wasn't an easy part for WhA to get here. But I will say it again. I said it at the start of the game. I will say it again. If you look at Tango's lineup, they have 4 heroes which are known to be beasts at turtling. The Tinker, the Windrunner, the Illuminate from the Keeper of Light, the Rubik with his Fate Bolt. It is not easy to push up that high ground right now for Tango. So we're gonna see WhA at a bit of a loss. Yes, they've got the Aegis. So they have got a bit of a margin of error, if you will, but they also don't want to be giving away too much, because if they do, then they might lose more towers. More towers means more gold for your opponents, means more gold for your Faces Void that you don't want to have gold, because this is basically the only thing. Wait a second. Frigo lead 4-star forward, needs to stay alive. Shackle doesn't latch. He still does it though. Here comes the March of the Machines as well. Fatebolt going through, another Telekinesis as well. Illuminate will go through as well. Blinding Light. And Keeper or Illuminate actually not going through there at all. He dodged that one. His dust has run out, so he will be able to get away from that place safely and unharmed, as well as Koifa, of course, who's just gonna walk inside the Market of the Machines to see if he can find someone who's trying to TP out, but he can't. Everybody already backed off safely, as even Rubik with the Ghost Walk able to do that. Skeleton Walk, yeah, Skeleton Walk, Ghost Walk, Wind Walk, I don't know. So right now is where where WhA is gonna have trouble. I mean, they don't want to be giving the Faces Void more than he's already getting. I mean, slowly but steadily he's getting more farm. He might not be farming as fast as you might have wanted to if you're out of tangos, but you know, the longer the game lasts, the more chance he has to get that gold up, the more chance he has to get those items up. And as we all know, as we've been told every single time, Faces Void with a full inventory is the hardest carry in the game, purely for the fact that he can just lock everybody inside the Chronosphere and kill them off then. And he is indeed going for that BKB, so just needs the recipe for that. Just about 800/700 gold to go before he has that, as we also have a BKB being built up by the Clinks. Bamboo wants to be immune as well, as the telekinesis is really starting to hurt him. So we have the Ghost Scepter up on the RMC, which we already saw, I believe. We already saw the Ghost Scepter up on the Keeper of the Light as well, who's actually seeming to go for 4 staff as well, picked up a Staff of Wizardry. Atsi got his power threads, he's got his urn, he's happy, he's going, no, he's fine. Pimpalicious, he is just farming like a beast right now. I mean, he's on 5,500 gold. Oh, he just bought something. It's gonna be a butterfly for Pimpalicious. Sentry ward right there. They realize he's there though. Do they have a gem? Yes, they do. Hello, Aghanim's. So we have a Radar Night Stalker, and they also see RMC, who now... Oh, actually, RMC is their team. What the hell? Confusion all around. But they now realize that they indeed have that. They just cleared out all the wards, which will mean that Skeleton Walk for Rubik. The only reason why it's still handy is because of the extra movement speed that it has. But this is Radar Night Stalker with a BKB, with an Aghanim's. And that is, I mean, it fits their lineup. They want to go for aggression. They want to try to find the kills, find the fights. And with that Aghanim's, they are actually able to do that. They're just able to see the whole map. They can't see the things that are invisible. Thou shall not hide from the Night Stalker. Then again, maybe Out of Tangos is just happy with just farming in the comfort of their base, basically. Well, around these lines. Not doing anything above those lines. Basically, be safe. As they just placed the ward again. Interesting. I don't think they realize there's a gem yet, especially not if they just placed a new ward. Yeah, that's quite interesting to see. But for now, we still have the Aegis. Should be disappearing soon, though. Yeah, in a minute's time, the Aegis will disappear. So either WhA's Asian is gonna be aggressive one more last time before the Aegis disappears, or they're gonna just wait and farm and wait and farm until they feel confident enough to take down Out of Tangos or to try and push into their base. If they make the wrong decision here, they will be finding death instead, because Out of Tangos, their counter push is just quite amazing. So it's gonna be a balance for WhA's Asian. If the game goes too long, the Faceless Void is gonna get too big. If they try to end it too early, they're gonna be running into a wall that won't budge. So it's gonna be very tough to do that. It's gonna be very tough to find the right balance. And I mean, if they feel like they shut down that Faceless Void long enough, they might as well take a bit longer time than needed. They have actually got the butterfly now complete, but the Aegis indeed disappeared. But this Faceless Void, if they realize that, you know, we shut him down enough, we can take him down even with the amount of farming he has right now, then, I mean, they can use the time to continue farming for themselves. So fine. Silence off. Can they go for this? Pimpalish is standing up the side as well. Cedar knows he has to get away. And he does. He's actually gonna get called back by the Keeper of the Light. Gonna have to give up the Ancients as he does, though. That's pretty painful. I mean, if WhA's Asian can keep control of the lanes as they do now, just to make sure everything is constantly pushed out. And if it's not, WhA's Asian is around there to try and make sure that nobody else of Out of Tangos is trying to farm outside of their base. And that will mean that Faceless Void is gonna have a tough time getting his farm up. And that's of course the thing that Out of Tangos, I mean, this is their only hope. Hold on and fight off until that Faceless Void is farmed up enough. And I do realize that that is not the most interesting game to see right now, because, you know, it's not. Oh, hello, Chronosphere, Quake 5, Rockets, Power Shot, and that should be a kill. Nice one. Successful smoke, and the gem dropped. Picked up now by Keeper of the Light, so Steph Sal has it, and he can take it back to base. They will just counter ward. Making sure they get some map control back, because that is so important right now. Or at least I have said how important it is for realization. It's also important for Out of Tangos, of course, because they need to know where they can farm and where they can't farm. But that's a good pick-off, for sure. As I'm just checking. Now there is a gem again if they want it for the Radiant team. And he has the gold as well, so he could buy it if he wants to. In the meantime, bottom lane is still getting pushed out there by WhA. And the gold graph is just going upwards because Out of Tangos is not farming as much as WhA is. Experience graph, of course, the same thing. And we now have Bamboo with a Chrysalis. And just going over the stats for a second, because I realized, I mean, we still see the same kind of stats. Yes, it's still Luna that's just very high on top of there. Look at the difference in gold per minute. That is insane. That is just insane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And of course, we see the net worth the entire time. It's the Luna again that's just highest up on there. I have to say though, Klinks is, I mean, he's pretty far away from that still. I thought he was closer. But that's of course also because Pimpalicious actually hasn't died yet the entire game. Yes, that's true. It is it's quite insane to see this. I mean, he is just so far ahead, and not dying has played such a big role in that. Hasn't lost any gold to that, hasn't lost any experience. All the kills that have happened around him, he's got the experience for it because he was there. He's been in 15 out of the 16 kills that he's got assists for and kills himself. 11 last hits for himself. He's already beyond godlike, of course, we have seen that one. But this is a pretty deadly Luna, and they're gonna be looking for a fight by the looks of it. They find RMC first though, Power Shot will finish it off. And that fast kill will make sure that Out of Tangos will not get a rest for now. Out of Tangos sticking together, no, Roshan is back up again. See if there's gonna be a fight over it, because yeah, there is. There is. Buyback for the Nyx Assassin. Rewards being placed. The Gem of Truth set still up on the side of the Dire. And no new Gem of Truth set being purchased on the side of the Radiant. But they do want to take down Roshan. And they're gonna go in. Wards there will scout out everything. So they realize what they have to deal with. Really? That's the sound that he makes when he fights? Awkward. Anyway, Illuminate will go through. Will they actually back off? Because it looks like they're not going to go in on this. It looks like Out of Tangos is going to just give the Roshan away, and they're not going to get anything in return for it either, and they give Luna the Aegis again. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous. I mean, Luna already so far ahead of the rest. Look at the levels only. 5 levels difference between her and the Faceless Void. Gold graph, just upwards, upwards. Experience graph, upwards. Illuminate to go through. Rockets will fly. Margin Machine still there, of course, making sure that nobody dares to push in. So he's not that far. Illuminates and Martian Machines, Rockets, it's so hard to push in on that, and they realize that too. And I also realize that a lot of people like to see these kind of screens, so I'm just putting it out there, making sure that you at least don't miss anything if you're interested in a specific build or a specific hero that I didn't go over yet. Then you can check that out. As we see that Koifa is actually starting to go for a, well, what appears to be a Sheever's Guard. Of course, a quite nice item against Faceless Void, slowing him down. That's Koifa. Daytime. There comes more though. Can they find someone? Rockets will still fly, but they cannot fight them anymore. From the side here comes RMC. Has to be careful with the Gem of Truth still up on the inventory of the Keeper of the Light. And from the back here comes also Klinks. And they realize something is amiss and they back off. In the meantime, Tinker is continuously pushing out the lanes. He's got himself a sheep stick. He's gonna be able to just continuously be annoying. I mean, we've seen it before.
Radiant's
Continuously
bottom
putting
tower
someone out
is
of play
under
with that
attack.
sheep stick. We've seen it before. And if done properly, it can create mayhem and chaos, especially if, of course, Pimpalish is going to be the target for that. I mean, yes, he has his BKB, but if he's not putting it up in time, it's going to be tough for him to deal with that. And while we follow Koifa slightly, I'm going to take some water. Drink some water, rather. Oh, come on, I was following Koifa. Oh, illuminate. Nah, they're just defending this. Tinker coming in also. Martin Machines incoming. It's just, I mean, really, you want to try to push up this high ground? It's such a pain. It is such a pain. And they're even trying to slightly split push with Bamboo on the top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower
But they
is
can't.
under attack.
It's not possible.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Continuously having the lanes pushed out. Ooh, RMC getting an aggressive 4-stop forward, as in Flux. Got him forward. Impale still goes through. Faces Void. Gonna be put into safety again, as it looks like Pimpalation being turned into a piglet. Rockets will fly. Lasers as well. Mana Leak as well. There goes the BKB. Chronosphere still there though. Pimpalations. Will this be the first time he goes down? Doesn't look like a Cedar. Has to back off from that one. And there's Koifa being turned into a piglet. We've got an Eclipse going on. One down. It's Rubik that dies first. Flux trying to get away from that one. And the tier 3 tower now gonna get harassed. Another Mana Leak up on Pimpalicious. Another power shot tries to stop the lane from pushing into the tier 3, but it's not supposed to be. It doesn't meant to be. Tier 3 tower drops. Illuminate flies through again. Actually does a lot of damage, and that is Rocket picking up the next assassin, who still gets shackled to add to there. And here comes Cedar again. Back on Void via Mana. Pimpalicious turned into a piglet again. That is the first time he goes down, but there is an Aegis, and he is alive once more, and it is Cedar that is forced to back out. And Pimpalicious, he's just going to work on the barracks, and now to Cedar. Can he do this? Yes, he can. Nightsucker coming in for the Void with the last hit. Kills the Void with the Void. Barracks drop. Bamboo, ooh, taking tons of damage from that Rockets, but he will be away again. As Pimpalicious just trying to force everything back. He's got himself a Satanic. His Manta Stable is off cooldown again. Could just try to send through some illusions, but hey, they got the ranged racks. They got the melee racks, which is what they came for, successfully so, and they are victorious in the mid lane for now, and they are rotating, seeing if they can get some more. We see Pimpalicious pushing out the bottom lane. It is Bamboo that's pushing out the top lane, and they should be able to well, capitalize on their victory.
Tower is under attack.
They're just clearing out the farm. They're gonna be smoking up though. Out of tangos is anyway. I'd see trouble for him. Will probably be dead. Yeah, dead. But he did buy enough time for Pimpalicious to get himself away from that place, and he actually just continues farming just because he can. He's level 25 actually. Means that I'm gonna show this to you one more time. It is in favor of realization, obviously. And I mean, with one hero level 25, it means that the experience graph will be, at some point, will be 0 again. When everybody's level 25, of course, it will be at 0, because then there's no difference. But it's no longer really a nice reflection from anything if there's already hero level 25 and others are not, so because you can't get an experience anymore. So that's that. I will be showing you, of course, the levels still sometimes, as you can see. I mean, there's now 6 levels difference between the Faces Void and the Luna, and that is, I mean, that's just painful. Very, very, very painful. Luna coming in there. He's just running into 4 heroes though. Being turned into a piglet. Chronosphere as well. They wanna kill him for the first time. Will they be able to do it? Telekinesis there. Pimpalicious, you are a dead panther, lady. And that is gonna be the first time that she died in the game. And the reward is instant. The reward is a tier 1 tower. More gold for the team. In the meantime, though, Bamboo decides, you know what? Nobody's here. I can just take down these tier 3 towers. No problem. I can take down these wrecks. No problem. And he is gonna try to give his life for it. He will probably die, and he will indeed give his life for it, but he was close. If he does again, the melee barracks drop, and then they only need to have the bottom racks again. RMC in the meantime doesn't have any new items since the last time we saw him. We actually have him using his Vendetta and they're gonna go for the barracks. We see the drawing on the minimap. They want to take those barracks. They don't have the backdoor, or they have the backdoor protection, and again though, because the lane is no longer pushed in the mid lane, and they need to have that. But with the Tinker TPing in mid, they can't do it anymore. Nightstalker, by the way, has got the gem, or a gem, because Keeper of Light still has his gem. So there is a second gem inside this game. Nighttime being popped. And here's the Sheever's guard. Oh, sorry, I saw Karas. Wow. So Karas up on the Nightstalker.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There we go. Now worth again. Look at the gold graph slightly dropping down after that kill on Pimpalicious. I mean, look at that. That's just massive. Okay, curious. Oh wow. So they killed the highest level hero in the game, which is level 25, of course, and they killed it with a bunch of heroes that were level 18 and lower. So they got a shit ton of experience just from that kill. It's just fun to see. In the meantime, out of tangos, they're feeling a bit more freedom, pushing out in the bottom lane. Of course, they need to be, or top lane rather, they need to be around this top lane because they don't want to be having their barracks being taken care of by WhA, so they have to be pushing this lane out. In the meantime, we almost have a Manta style up on the Faces Void. Just needs the recipe as Pimpalicious has decided to farm again. Picked herself up some mana boots. Mana boots? I mean boots of travel. Wow! Not going well, is it? Oh well. Tough luck. It's what Christmas holiday and food do to you. Oh, Bamboo coming in from the side, and a fortification actually got used for that one. He might want to go back for it. Again, 100 HP. He's still hanging around there. He wants to take it down. In the meantime, though, split pushing. Tier 3 tower bottom, gonna go down to the illusions of Pimpalicious, denied actually by Faces Void. In the meantime, Bamboo trouble, gonna get a rast here. There's the dust as well, they want to take him down, should be able to do so, especially with that loosened beam upon 3-go lead. Nightstalker coming here from the side here, getting a mana leak up on him, but it doesn't seem to bother him too much. Pop the Nighttime, Impale going off on Cedar. Illuminate will push the lane back out again though, and it looks like WhA, they don't want to go for this just now. Especially not with their lane being pushed out on the top lane. And Koikfai just coming in there to try and stop that from happening. Other Tangos want to profit from that, but because they know that he TP, there's a time lock. RMC, oh wow. And that is gonna be Pimpalicious using his Eclipse. Oh jeez. Eclipse kills off the Keeper of Light. I can't believe the Chronosphere was so misplaced there at Pimpalicious. He's gonna be able to solo the team, or does it just look like that Ati will still drop? Pimpalicious might drop as well, is still able to take down the Rubik, as well as the Tinker. TP back there, Space is Void. He is gonna be able to move back to base, but just barely. Here comes Koikfa though. Wants to go for a Tinker who just bounced back. Cannot die again. That would be devastating. 4 out of tangos. They need his March of the Machines. Flux coming in to help out, but the Void and the BKB can't do anything. Nightstalker picks up the kill, and now Windrunner trying to juke them away. He's actually gonna destroy the gem before going there. Nice job there. She knows she's gonna die. Her job is to make sure her kill is gonna last as long as it takes, as long as she can make it, just so that her team can make sure that, well, they can push out the lanes again, and she was successful at that. So nice play by Flux there, even though, you know, he died, but, you know, he knew that he would die. Man's still up on Cedar, so he will have that one. Next, as we're just gonna have this one, buyback statuses, because both Tinker and Keeper of Light just bought back. No, Illuminate, Keeper of Light, there comes the buyback from the Windrunner, another buyback coming from the way of Out of Tangos. Out of Tangos, they don't want to be losing these barracks, but they will, because they're dropping, oh, those bouncing blades just hurt. It's painful. Illuminate going through some illusions, but illusions are too tanky to deal with that one. Silence up on the Nightstalker, but he doesn't seem to mind that much. Telekinesis. Trying to hold him in place. There goes the BKB though. Here comes Cedar. He's got himself a Chronosphere. Needs to get on range first. Stepstyle might be paying the price for that first. Nice Blinding Light helping out, keeping him alive, and they will probably at least force him out of the base. There's another Silence Impale. It's on 2. RMC. Mana burning up on the Faces Void. Could try to go for a... Nah, he doesn't. There he does. Pimpalicious and RMC, but look at this. He is so tanky. He can just bash on that, but the damage is just not there. Illuminate going through. Keeper of Light drops Teeter, having to go back to base with his BKB still on. RMC looking to go for a target. Gets shackled to a tree. Flux gonna land a power shot. Fadebolt still picks him up, but the GG is cold because the barracks are all down. And these bouncing blades, Pimpalicious is gonna Divine Rapier. It's too much. It's too much. He only died once this entire game. This is the second time. Rapier in the hands of Faceless Void, but I don't think that will make that much of a difference because the Mega Creeps are there and the tower, the barracks, the throne. It's too much. It's too much. So, or is it? Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. The GG was already called anyway. This was game number 1. That's right. It's the best out of 3 to decide which one of these two teams will be joining the Division 1 teams next season, as of course this is Division 2. And we're going to see that in the best out of 3 because these two teams are tied for the Division 2B. And we can only have one victor. We can only have one team go through to Division 1. Let's take a look at game number 2. Stick around, because I don't think you want to miss these games. Just a hunch. Anyway, stick around for more Dota 2 action coming right up. Don't go anywhere.